Hey guys, if you want to know which are the most suitable wheels to put on your car, then watch this video so you can make the best informed decisions. So I live in Canada where the winters are packed with snow and ice, and that can make winter driving a very slippery and challenging situation to drive in. But the good news is that in 2026, I picked up one of the most capable cars that can withstand the winters, and that's none other than Subaru. My 2016 WRX paired with Subaru's legendary symmetrical all-wheel drive is a real game changer. However, all-wheel drive doesn't mean all-wheel stop, so we had to get some winter tires for this car. I was lucky to have found some Motegi MR118 aftermarket wheels on winter tires. Not only were they the right bolt pattern for my car, but the seller also had the correct hub-centric rings that I needed. Now, let me explain this concept. Many small and mid-sized sedans may share the same bolt pattern for their wheels, but they may not have the same hub center bore diameter. Notice how for this example, all these Japanese models of small and mid-sized sedans use the same 5x114.3 bolt pattern, but they have different hub center bores. What you're seeing here is the perfect example of what I just showed. You can see the before compared to the after, where before there was a noticeable gap in the hub, and after I filled it with a hub-centric ring, the gap is gone. And that is to accommodate a Mazda wheel onto a Honda Accord, where there is 67.1 outer diameter for Mazda and 64.1 millimeter inner diameter, which fits Honda. So what this means is that as long as the wheel clearance is big enough and the bolt patterns are the same, you can use a wheel with a bigger hub center bore on a car that has a smaller hub center bore. Another thing to note is that aftermarket wheels tend to have thinner lug holes and require more spline-style lug nuts, which are more thin than the OEM lug nuts, because the OEM lug nuts won't be able to fit because of how wide they are. Also, as the owner of both a 2009 Honda Accord and a 2016 Subaru WRX, I've learned that lug nuts aren't interchangeable. Rule of thumb is that M12X 1.25 is a finer thread lug nut, better for performance cars like the WRX, which resists torque and vibration better, whereas M12X 1.5 lug nuts are more for regular traffic cars like the Accord, which means those lug nuts are more resistant to rust or getting seized. Now, let's talk about the last thing, which is wheel offset. Wheel offset is the distance from the wheel's mounting surface to the wheel's center line. Most stock wheels come with a positive offset, whereas aftermarket wheels come with a zero offset or negative offset. Most wheels come with a positive offset, and that means the mounting surface of the rim is more towards the outside. And what that does is it tucks the tire more to the inside, so the tire is very much closer to the suspension of the vehicle. Now, normally, that's a good thing because the stock wheel with a positive offset is tucked more towards the inside, and that's less stress on the suspension, ball joints, and other components of the car. But if you had to get aftermarket bigger brakes and some really big brake calipers, then these positive offset wheels might not be able to clear the brake calipers. So then you would have to get something like wheel spacers, or you would have to get negative offset wheels. Of course, the easiest option is to get some wheel spacers so you can continue to use the wheels with positive offset you already bought, because you would tuck these right behind, and then this would push your wheel more outwards so it can clear the brake caliper. The worst comes to worst, you can always get bigger wheels, such as 18-inch rims or 19-inch rims. These are 205/55 R16s, which means these are 16-inch rims on some all-season tires, and they're not very big. Many performance cars use bigger wheels, at least R17s or R18s.